us for the return of school starting on Monday, March 29th of this year. And it's a long time coming. You know, our students have been out, and I want to applaud parents and you students as well who have really toiled through remote learning. It is not the best mode of learning, but yet it is something that you really did in spite of COVID and in spite of not being in school and being in front of the teachers who instruct you on a regular basis. But now we're coming back in cohorts. We have two cohorts, an A and B. Students who are coming on cohort A, which was our Monday and Tuesday, and our cohort B, which is our Thursday and Friday. And we definitely want to be prepared for everyone that's coming in. But the most important facet of this is safety. Safety is the biggest concern. And when we talk about safety, we just follow the regular COVID protocols. Those protocols being first and foremost, the wearing of masks at all times. And that is for all the adults in the building as well as the students. And obviously, when we have our mask must cover our entire face, our nose, and our mouth area. The mask cannot contain any valves on the side, and it must be a smooth fit around your face. We do not allow the gaiters. I've been calling them the fake turtlenecks that they pull up. So we will not have any of the gaiters. They're not allowed in school. And if your child, or even if the students who are on, if you are in need of a mask, please let us know. We have plenty. We have plenty. For the parents that are on here, we ask that you provide the mask from home. Make sure they have an additional mask in their pocket or their backpacks. But we want to make sure, again, to ensure that every single member of our school community is safe. As students enter the building, we want them to be physically distanced from each other, not only entering the building, but while they are walking inside the building. They'll see much signage up indicating we want people to move in accordance to traffic, staying to your right and moving ahead, again, with the 3 to 6 feet distance between them. In the classroom, the desk will be anywhere from, they said 3 feet is acceptable. I think at Madison Park, we did the in-between. We're about 4.5 feet apart. So we wanted to really satisfy both converts on that. But we really want students to really observe the signage within the school and the individual classrooms with respect to the protocols. So we've already mentioned masks. We've already mentioned physical distancing. At all times, you can please, and this is before we left in March of 2020, consistent use of hand sanitizer and consistent hand washing is still going to be crucial. If you have small packets of sanitizer, please send that with your child, because again, it will aid in the spread of the contagion. So again, make sure that they are coming in small packets of this. If not, we may have some spare. I know we were given quite a few boxes of them, so we'll be handing them out as well. But parents, if you can assist in that, we would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Making sure also students are cleaning up after themselves. And as you'll hear when we get down to our schedule, there'll be areas, especially with our freshmen and sophomores, who will be staying in the same area, but then our juniors and seniors will be traveling. So it's going to be important that they clean their respective areas, again, to stop the spread of the contagion. And most importantly, if you are feeling ill, and parents, if your child is feeling ill, please keep them at home and just contact the school, okay? Any questions thus far with respect to the protocols, hallways? And the biggest part about the hallways and the stairwells is everyone staying to their right and having that flow of traffic moving in one consistent direction, either going towards or coming from. Again, making sure that we are all safe. Now, we also look at how students are coming to school and preparing for their first day, but not only their first day, for the remaining days of school. So we're asking parents, checking of backpacks, making sure students are packing their Chromebooks, their chargers. If you have water bottles will be essential, especially as we know today was an outstanding day, 70 degrees. let me tell you, in this office, it's got to be about 85 degrees still in my office. And I make sure I've got my water bottle all filled as well. So if you have water bottles for your child or young people, if you've had them, please bring them in, because it'll stop the spread of us constantly reaching for cups and the such. But also making sure that you are armed with your books, notebooks, folders, and all those other pieces of equipment materials that you need for learning. So make sure that we do those things the night before, and that we do them on a consistent basis every Sunday night preparing for Monday, Monday preparing for Tuesday. Wednesday will still remain as a remote day, but Wednesday night should be a day of preparation for Thursday, and Thursday night preparation for Friday. If we can follow these simple routines, again, we'll be ready to learn at all costs. So the schedule for our freshmen and sophomores, as I indicated, freshmen and sophomores will remain in their first period class, and the teachers will rotate to them. Again, we're stopping transitions of students, trying to minimize transition of students. Freshmen and sophomores are our two largest classes. And when we have large classes as these two, the spread of contagion is highly more probable when they are moving. So we'll have the teachers rotate to their classroom. The only times that freshmen and sophomores will be on the move will be for physical education, lunch, and to their respective vocational programs. Okay. Juniors and seniors, the numbers really are not nearly the amount of our freshmen and sophomores. They will also be moving, and the juniors and seniors will be in a different building, in building 2, and they will be rotating class to class. The one thing we are requesting and requiring of our junior and seniors, since they should be the most responsible students, and since they are moving, they will be cleaning off their respective desk areas, seating areas, before they leave for their next class. Again, ensuring the safety of the next class coming in. And we have extended the time. And one of the reasons why our time may be different from other schools is because of the nature of our school. We are a vocational school. And as we indicated earlier, our students have probably lost more than any other school in this city, because our students have 2 programs of study, their academic program of study, as well as their vocational program of study. And our students for a year have lost out on their vocational programming. And this is what we are in the business for. We are in the business of training students, for them to acquire skills for careers. And so we did not want to shortchange that time for our freshmen and our sophomores. And we also wanted to give our junior and seniors the time that they needed to really hone their skills for their future aspirations. So you will see extended time, but one of the things I want to ensure with everyone here, you won't have teachers teaching for 75 straight minutes. You will not have teachers teaching for 90 straight minutes. There will be definitely breaks in the action for our remote learners, because we cannot afford to have students sitting at a screen for 6.5, 7 hours nonstop. So we will continue some asynchronous learning pieces for every single period as we go along. So I want to make sure that parents are really understanding that point. Any questions thus far?
Mr., let me just ask in Spanish. If
Please, and my apologies, Ms. Castillo, my apologies.
Buenas noches a todos. Si alguien habla español y tiene alguna pregunta para el señor Macasco, que es el director ejecutivo de si alguien tiene alguna pregunta para el señor Mr. Macasco, con respecto a la reapertura de la escuela, él rápidamente estaba hablando que vamos a usar los protocolos de seguridad. Los estudiantes tendrán que mantener una distancia de 3 pies, usar una máscara que sea aprobada. No pueden usar como tipo pañuelo o esas mascaritas que usan como de tela. Tiene que usar una máscara que de verdad lo proteja, ¿ok?
Disculpa una pregunta.
Sí, diga, por favor.
Sí, soy la mamá de Gabriela Alvarado. No sé cuándo es que empiezan las clases en la escuela. Pues no le entendimos bien.
I am Gabriela's mother, and I would like to know when the school is going to begin.
It's going to start on March 29th. And if she can, we can check and see with Gabriela if she selected a hybrid model, we can check to see if she's coming in on Monday and Tuesday or Thursday and Friday. We'll check on that. We can definitely call them out.
La clase comienza el lunes 29, pero si usted nos da el nombre y el apellido, podemos checar si ella entra en el grupo A, que es lunes y martes, o el grupo B, que es jueves y viernes.
In this case,
Gabriela Alvarado.
Gabriela Alvarado, sí.
Ok, muy bien.
Ms. Castillo, if you can have to Ms. Alvarado, yes, that Mr. Watson is definitely waiting for Gabriela to show up.
Definitely.
I have a question, Mr.
Yes, sir. Juan.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Is vocation like gonna start 7:30 to 2:35?
Yes, sir, Juan. Yes, sir.
All right.
Is the academic teachers, are they going to be in all week, or, you know, vocational teachers too, or are they all going to be on the remote for next week? And what time does school start?
7:30. Sure. And it's, yep, school starts at 7:30 and it will run to 2:35, Ms. Gardner. And I can hear Erica in the back as well. but all the teachers are coming back. You know, we will have some who have special accommodations who will not, we'll make sure that, you know, those students will be notified. But well over 90% of our teachers are coming back live for Madison Park.
Sí, yo soy papá de Brian.
I'm Brian's dad.
Sí.
Continúa, señor.
Sí, yo soy el papá de Brian Esteban. ¿Para cuándo, ¿en qué mes empezarían ellos a ir a la escuela? Si es que
la clase va a empezar el lunes que viene, el 29. Hay dos grupos, el grupo A que empieza los lunes y martes y el grupo B que empieza jueves y viernes, dependiendo si él cogió el programa remoto desde la casa o el programa híbrido. ¿Usted sabe cuál es?
No, no tengo idea. Nomás él lo recibió aquí en la casa, lo está recibiendo aquí en la casa.
Ok, yo puedo llamarle, ok, o mi compañera Miss Pérez también. Yo, Miss Pérez, podemos llamarle. So, Brian Esteban es el niño.
Sí.
Ok, Esteban es el apellido.
Correcto.
Ajá, Brian, B. Ajá.
B, R, A, Y, A, N.
Ok, Brian Esteban, muy bien. So, yo tan pronto tenga la información, le dejaré saber qué grupo pertenece él, ¿ok?
Está bien, gracias.
Un placer. Yeah, so he wanted to know when Brian is going to start. So I got his information as well as Gabriela's, and then I will be contacting them.
Thank you very much, Ms. Castillo. Truly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it.
I have a question, please.
Yes, sir.
My son don't have Chrome. He usually use the computer back home, here at home. He has to bring his computer or he has to take another Chrome there.
If he's coming in, sir, and he's coming in live, if he's going to get instruction, he will not need, but I would suggest if he needs a Chromebook, we can definitely supply that and just take it back, you know, at the end of the day. So in case that there's a remote where the teacher may be out and he may go remote, he may need access to that Chromebook. So if he comes in and he needs it, we will definitely supply him with one. Thank you for that question, sir. Appreciate it.
Excuse me, mister. I just want to let them know to call me to give me their information.
Sure, please.
El padre de Gabriel, la madre de Gabriela, perdón, y el padre de Brian, voy a poner, o cualquiera, voy a poner mi número en el chat, si lo pueden escribir, o yo se lo puedo dar también ahora. ¿ok? Para que me pueden mandar el texto de su número y así yo le voy a mandar la información que ustedes necesitan, ¿ok?
Lo puede decir ahorita, yo lo anoto,
Sí,
gracias.
claro, 617
617
Have a-
943
943
3668. Lo voy a poner en el chat también, ¿ok?
Ajá. ¿Cuál es su nombre, me dijo?
Miss Castillo para servirle.
Mire, Castillo, mucho gusto.
¿Puede repetir los últimos dos números últimos,
Sí,
por favor?
claro.
Gracias.
617-943-3668.
Gracias.
Un placer. Lo puse en el chat, ¿ok?
Está bien.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much,
I
Ms.
have one-
Castillo. Yes,
I have
Ms.
a
Gardner.
question.
Yes,
Um,
please.
How is lunch is going to be when the kids got to eat for lunchtime?
You must have been reading my mind, Ms. Gardner, because that's the next topic going on. I tell you, you've got that ESP going to this evening. So lunch.
Jersey.
Yeah, that's right. We do have that New Jersey connection. You are absolutely correct. Lunches will be served. We will be moving for lunches. Students will be transitioning to lunch. Freshmen and sophomores, freshmen will be eating here in Building 7, the main building. And students will be dismissed from their class. They will be escorted to Cardinal Hall. We have converted Cardinal Hall to our lunchroom now, just from a transition perspective. I think it's much easier than them going up and down stairs. Again, reducing the extra travel. We have enough tables to create the safe distance. And when they're eating lunch, it must be 6 feet. It can't be 3 and it can't be 4.5. So it is 6 feet. And we have 2 at a table at each end. And we do have plexiglass in between the students. So we are, again, ensuring the safety of all. It is still a grab and go lunch that has been prepared here on campus. And for grab and go, we also still have a grab and go breakfast. I was remiss in saying that. So we'll have a 25-minute lunch, and I think it's going to be much easier to dispense the lunches since they don't have to scoop anything and put it on a tray. They can just hand off the bags. But again, in the custodial individuals will be there to clean up afterwards. But that does not mean students will leave the place as a pigsty. We want students to always be mindful to clean up after themselves. Even though we have a custodial staff, no one is just here to clean up after you. And I know every student here at Madison Park has been raised better than that. I really believe that. They've been raised better than that. So they will be traveling, and then over in Building 2, which is for our sophomores, juniors, and seniors, they will be eating in the designated spots, similar to what they've been doing in the past over in Building 2.
There's a question.
Yes.
I have a question.
Okay. I'll wait and ask after the parent.
Okay.
Are kids allowed to
Hold
leave
on,
for
I have a
lunchtime?
question. Yeah, like classmates out to leave for lunch.
Could you repeat that, Erica, please?
My mom said our upperclassmen allowed to leave for lunch, like seniors.
No, we do not have open campus. That's something that we have to be very mindful of. That we have never proposed open campus, and the reason why, students going out, we don't know who you're coming in contact with. Again, you can go to AKs. AKs is a very tight spot. You have 5, 6, maybe 10 people. And I know that's the closest spot, and it's the spot to meet up. Also, Chacho's up the street. They're very small and dense areas. We cannot take that risk of having an open campus, even for seniors.
So say if your mom was to like bring you something to school to eat, like could you pick it up from your in the office and she can give it to you? If she orders something and she delivers it to the school, could you pick it up?
We're not encouraging that, because again, now we're putting more people in contact with a lot of people from the outside. People are coming in, food, it's being exchanged. We really want to minimize that. I said, if you have that type of situation, bring your lunch to school. Oh, I can see some of the adults smiling because we remember the days when we used to bring our own lunch to school in the brown paper bag. So I would suggest that you bring a lunch. If you're concerned, that much concerned, please consider bringing your lunch.
I'm smiling because I remember how good I remember how good Erica's lunches were. I remember visiting her in the cafeteria and seeing Erica's lunches. So, yeah.
Okay, may I ask the question?
Yes,
for one
ma'am.
of the
Yes, ma'am.
parents?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, he said, will teachers be working remotely or in person?
Teachers will be working live. They will be here on campus. They will be in the classroom. And we do have some teachers, due to accommodations, they may be remote, in which the students will be learning remotely. But again, as I indicated, over 90% of our staff is coming back live and in person.
And are they gonna have the parents' council meeting remote, or we're gonna be able to come in person?
All other meetings they'll stay remote for now. We can't wait till we can come back in person, but all meetings such as this and any other gatherings, we will stay remote. Again, to keep all of us very safety and cautious about moving forward.
What about medications for kids though? You know how the parents have to bring the meds in?
Yes.
Then we give it to the kids.
For essential reasons, parents will be permitted in for essential reasons, such as medication, such as even picking up students for dismissal. So in those cases, yes.
I have a question. So about like sports in the school at the end of the day, because sometimes I would know like they wouldn't let us in the gym until it was time to get in the gym or whatever. And we would get out of school a bit early, so I was confused. So I was like, okay, if I get out of school early, like, what am I supposed to do if I can't go to the field or I can't go to track or softball? Like, how is that gonna work?
Well, if it's outside, especially with softball, track and field and as such, and the weather is now, if we get the torrential rain, we'll definitely have to adjust to let folks in, again, following all safety protocols. But now that we're into those spring season, as the spring season start to go to, we can get outside, enjoying that fresh, first and foremost, enjoying that fresh air. Because I know a lot of us has been cooped up in the homes for so long. So I would suggest really with the coaches will inform you of where you should meet going forward. And if the coaches do not, Erica, I would suggest definitely letting myself or another administrator know.
Do you know who the coach is for track? Because I wasn't sure. No, I didn't.
To be determined, and I'm hoping it's not Mr. McCaskill.
Okay. When does it start? When does the spring sports start?
Should be starting in a couple of weeks.
Okay. So I was told the end of April. So I was like,
Yeah. We'll have, a matter of fact, Ms. Cruther, if you can just mark that there, because I know we do have the exact time. I'm not familiar with it right now, but we will definitely find that and we'll get that out.
okay, thank you.
You are absolutely welcome. Now, and also to reiterate, Wednesdays will still be an all remote day for all students. Once again, Wednesday will remain remote, and it gives us a day to have more extensive cleaning in the building, okay? And speaking of cleaning, obviously there's been a much more emphasis on cleaning here at Madison Park. And if I can share, in 6 years, I've never seen the building. Now the building's normally pretty decent, pretty clean, but I haven't seen, they look like the Keebler elves cleaning them every single day. It is something to see with custodians both day and night, especially if you're here at night, such as I am tonight, really to see how diligent the night crew works. It's really something to see. And I'm very proud of the custodial staff and the work that they are doing and currently continue to do. But the building will be sanitized on Wednesday for that extensive cleaning, but every single day, every classroom is sprayed down. All the desks and desk areas are cleaned. Bathrooms are cleaned every 2 hours during the course of the day, and then obviously in the evenings, but every 2 hours, the restrooms are cleaned, and the custodians actually sign off on the cleaning of all the restrooms. All the cleaning materials and cleaning products are EPA cleared. So again, we don't have anything that's poisonous or noxious for students. If students do feel a little woozy because they're smelling the effects of that, please let an adult know so we can get you to the nurse immediately. And also to that, making sure that we do our part. And I can't emphasize enough of all of us doing our part. And I'm talking primarily to students. Cleaning up after yourself, especially after lunch. If you're eating breakfast, you bring your grab and go breakfast into the classroom. We are allowing you to eat it in class. But again, at that time, you must be 6 feet away from any individual around you. We ask when you are done, please dispose of your trash. Please dispose of your trash properly. Any questions thus far?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What if some kids need to take a break, with their masks being on, how they gotta catch a breather?
Did someone share my agenda with you, Ms. Gardner?
Yes.
Man, I'm telling you, hitting it on all points. We are recommending that there are mask breaks. There are students who cannot continuously wear this for long stretches of time. So mask breaks will be recommended. We also are allowing classrooms to go outside. So as long as the lessons, if they want to do their lessons outside and the weather is right, they feel free to do that, making sure that we are also always in a teachable situation. But mask breaks will be definitely for folks who will definitely need them. There'll be designated areas. But we always ask if students are in transition from one place, for example, if someone is going from building 7 to the gymnasium, please let someone know. We don't want you outside for a mask break and we don't know where you are, because we want to make sure that we account for every single student in the building. Any questions thus far? Questions, comments, or concerns? And the last topic that I really have is obviously the one that we hope that we don't get to, but really enforcement of the protocols. One of the things that you've heard me say probably at least 20 times is safety, safety, safety. And one of the things we really want to impress upon students is that we will nag, we will sound like a broken record about safety. Because one, not only do we want to keep you and keep us as a staff safe, we don't want you bringing anything home to jeopardize the health and welfare of your families. That is the tone and tenor you will hear consistently, that we all want to make sure that we keep not only ourselves, folks in our school community, but we also want to make sure the folks at our homes in our surrounding areas are safe as well. So that's why we will definitely keep reinforcing the wearing of masks and the physical distancing. If we have to continue, if we say it for a first offense, we're simply a redirection. Put your mask on, please physical distance from those individuals. If it's a second, you'll have a short mini conference with a staff member just saying the importance of wearing the mask, the importance of being physically distanced from others. If we have a third offense, what we're doing is recommending that our community field coordinators and our security paras will again have a conversation with you, again emphasizing why we must be safe, why we must have our mask on, why we must be physically distanced from others. And if it continues to escalate where it is insubordination, where people are refusing to do what we have asked for a fourth time, that will be referred to an assistant head of school, the assistant principals, which in turn will contact the parent. And as parents, what we are recommending is that students will be dismissed for that day. And when they're coming home, we would really like you to ensure that, to really encourage them to wear the mask, to reinforce this being of safe, this being of safe. They must wear it because now they are actually putting the family in jeopardy. And that's something that we do not want to have happen. And so it's very simple. If we all follow, and I want to make sure that everyone on this call, that it's just not for students, it's for every adult. in the building as well. The rules apply for every single member, including Mr. McCaskill. I want to see a student. If Mr. McCaskill has his mask down and he's supposed, I want someone, Mr. McCaskill, what is going on with that? Don't make us call your mother. I want that to occur. I want us to be our brothers and sisters' keeper, because it's very important going forward. If we are to be safe for the remaining days until June, I believe it's June 18th. I may be wrong with the last day of school. But we are looking at having 0 cases of COVID, 0 cases of COVID going forward. And that is only going to occur if we are following these protocols.
Well, you know, a lot of kids take the MBTA, so therefore you're not, you know, maybe we should just keep reminding them to wear their mask while they're on the MBTHs as well. Because they're gonna come to school.
You are absolutely correct. And I think that is what has us up here at school, the traveling on public transportation. And students should definitely take the precautions if they're taking the MBTA. Take those precautions. And it may be tight, but again, I feel if you have that mask on, you keep that mask on, and you have that hand sanitizer. You have that hand sanitizer and use it liberally. I think we can definitely minimize students really catching COVID. But it's going to take work, it's going to take conscious thought at all times, being conscious of where you are and who you are around, and making sure you follow the protocols. And one of the things that students, and I mentioned it a few minutes ago, being our brothers and sisters' keeper. Talking to our friends about this, talking to our peers about this. This isn't about just someone telling you about abiding and adhering to rules. It's about us being in a position where we'll be able to continue to see our loved ones.
One of the parents would like to know if the hut and the bakery will be open.
I see Ramon. Hey, Ramon, how you doing? The hut and the bakery will not be open because, again, they cause a crowd. I know all the adults are looking, they cause a huge crowd. And that's something that we just cannot do. We just cannot do that. We look forward to the hut and the bakery open next September and October in full force. Mr. Harold and myself can't wait to get them cookies.
I got a question. For the seniors, like, can they make something special happen for us? Because, you know, it's our last year and, you know, it's not fair to us, you know, so, yeah.
But we can think about those things, Erica, but we can't have them all crowding around. All right.
Are they making sure, you know, how the kids do take transportation to school and back? Do they make sure that the kids have their masks on too, just as well? You know, the school buses.
Well, and that's a great question, Ms. Gardner. The students who have been coming in, who are taking the school buses, I think that's the first, you can't get on the bus without that mask. And we have not had, knock on wood, we have not had any cases or any complaints about our students not adhering to any of the COVID protocols for bus travel. It has been fantastic. Kudos to those parents who have really, really helped us out on that cause.
Excuse me, Mr. McCaskill. A parent, Ramon Antonio's mom, she would like to know what's the protocol for summer school?
We are still trying, we're in the midst of figuring that out. Because one of from the superintendent, Dr. Casilius has made it a point that summer school and summer learning is a priority. And I would suggest, and we are in the process of submitting a proposal, because we really want to do a very extensive summer school program. Well, obviously, a lot of it will depend on our vocational programs. We have had interest from our vocational staff who really want to be here for their students, for them to gain more skill. And any students that require summer school, either to make up courses, And one of the terms that we really have to get away from is remediation, where to make up work, we're looking to accelerate learning. So we are looking definitely for acceleration programs for students who may have to take math or English or a science course and really propel them something that will transition them nicely into next year. So you'll be hearing in the coming weeks, probably prior to the April vacation, on some proposals for summer school.
So, lo que están interesados en la escuela de verano para sus hijos, todavía no hay algo definido. La doctora Casillas, quien es la superintendente, como dice el señor McCaskill, están en propuesta o están hablando con respecto a eso, y ellos quieren, definitivamente, ella cree que es importante que estén los estudiantes en el programa de verano. No se van a alejar del término remediación, sino quieren acelerar el proceso, y especialmente esos estudiantes que necesitan ayuda en matemáticas y ciencia. So, para las vacaciones de abril, él tendrá más información.
One person would like to know about the showcase. Do we have to do the showcase? I'm not sure. What showcase?
I'm wondering if that showcase, for incoming students or prospective students. And Ms. Cruthert has been doing that all year virtually. And believe it or not, and Ms. Cruthert, I think you'll agree, it's much better live. The presentation is much better in person. But I'm going to share this with this audience. We have got one of the largest incoming freshman classes for the 21-22 school year through the efforts of Ms. Cruthert, because of all the virtual tours and the work that she has done behind the scenes. So that's why the showcases will still be virtual, but if they want, they can contact Ms. Cruthert if they need information regarding our school. But we are truly proud of her efforts, because it is just a tremendous, tremendous effort to have that many students enrolled in, prospective students enrolling in this school. It is just wonderful.
Do you know what day they're gonna have the kids graduate? Is it gonna be in the school or is it gonna be outside?
Tentatively, graduation is June 11th, tentatively June 11th, and determinations are being made. We did get clearance that the graduations can be held in large places like Northeastern, but we are looking at having ours outside, just so that we can, definitely so we can get, obviously, abiding and adhering to COVID protocols. I think outside is the safest bet for everyone. So we're looking to see what venue, if we're having it here on campus, or we have it out on either the football field or the plaza area. But we are looking at an outside graduation that is in person.
I have a question about prom. Like, is there gonna be a prom? Like, do we know, like, in the middle of April, like, should we start asking questions? Like, if there is, if they're not, because yeah.
I would say right now, and then Mr. Harris did approach me with it. I would say it's very tentative. It's very tentative, and there's a lot of clearance that goes on with that, Erica. And we want to really, and I'll be very honest with you. More than likely, it will not be a prom. More than likely, if we are doing it at the same time. I'm not saying no totally, but I really want to see what some of the protocols that some of these venues are, but also getting guidance from the Public Health Commission, as well as the Boston Public Schools, as well as the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. Because I would not, and I want to repeat, I would not feel well if we had an outbreak. I don't know if you've heard, several local school districts have had outbreaks where they have had to shut down operations and go remote. And so again, it's because, we had these large team gatherings and people weren't safe. So that is one of the reasons why I want to take more of a look at it. But right now,
outside,
it doesn't make a difference.
Again, what happens with that, Erica, we're still in a crowded situation. Now, unless people are going to dance like they danced in the 17 and 1800s, where you're dancing 6 feet apart, if people can promise that would occur, that
No,
might
I don't think
change
so.
things. But I think
They're
since the
opening
night,
up TD Garden. That's why I
huh?
asked. Because they're opening up TD Garden for the fans next Monday. That's why I asked. Because
Yeah, at 12%, and it's only at 12% capacity. So I believe TD Garden holds about 20,000 people. So now they're only looking at having anywhere from 2,000 to 2,400 people, which will seem like no one's actually there. So it's very, very limited capacity, very limited capacity.
I got a question.
Mhm.
Are you still going to be at the school? I mean, for now, because of the headmasters, nobody's sure about who's going to be that yet.
talking.
I will still be here until the superintendent says for me not to be here anymore. Any other final questions or final comments or thoughts, or continue concerns?
Mr. McCaskill, I don't know if you answered this earlier, but I did have a question.
Please.
Your BPS sent out these forms for parents to fill out where we had to choose, and hybrid was not an option. It was 5 days in or 5 days remote, but you're telling me that you guys are not following that BPS form that we were supposed to fill out?
That is for future, because BPS received a waiver. BPS will continue to be hybrid through to April. So right now, that was to determine how many parents would be interested in coming for 5 days. So we are simply going by what BPS is currently. The district sent out that survey to see where parents would be if you would like your child to come in for 5 days, or they would remain remote for those 5 days. So the district is just testing the waters on that, but we will be coming back full time at some point in time. The high schools, they're still to be determined, but K through 8 will be coming back full time on April 26th, the week after, the Monday after vacation. All pre-K to 8 students will be back full time. They are waiting for more information regarding what 9 through 12, what that looks like for a 5-day return.
Now, with all your staff basically, I guess, reporting on Monday for the full sessions, what happens to the kids? Like, say it's a science class and, they meet at 7:30 and half of the class chooses to go remote, half of the class chooses to come in person. Is that same teacher still teaching both sets of kids at the exact same time, or how is that setup going to work?
And something I didn't even write down is one of the most important facets of instruction. All classrooms have been manned with a 180-degree camera. So there'll be a camera on the teacher while they're teaching, and they will be casting concurrently remote to our remote students. So they will have concurrent teaching going on to both live student, in-person students, as well as remote students.
For students, or do all the teachers have to get vaccinated?
Well, I know our vaccination rate is pretty high. I know we can't mandate vaccination for anyone, but our teachers have definitely been teachers and staff have been taking well advantage of that. And we're probably looking at well over 90%, probably within the next 2 weeks, of all our staff being vaccinated. I know I've got another week, and I go for shot number 2 for me on April 3rd over here at the Reggie Lewis. Other questions, comments, or concerns?
What is going to happen with the kids that are going to stay remote, but still have like hours or in-class lessons that have to be done in order to receive their credits for that vocation?
Oh, for the vocational programs? Well, that's where, again, everything that they're getting, obviously the only missing piece that they'll have is the hands-on piece. And Mr. Harold, I believe all our teachers have have made, not, I shouldn't use the word consistent, but have made adjustments and modifications to their curriculum in order that remote students are not put in jeopardy of not being able to do the hands-on approach. Correct?
Yeah, it's in, the intention is anybody who's on board and in school be making up and getting as much hands-on time as they can. Absolutely. And those students that are remote will be following along with the hands-on activities. And so we're going to keep moving forward.
So Rosemary, they will not be penalized for being remote and being unable, they will not be penalized for that.
Okay, because my son would like to go in, but only for the vocation concepts. He doesn't want to go in for anything else. So that's something I was talking to his teachers, like, just, you know, I'll send him in, just do the hands-on stuff, and then he can just come home.
It's okay.
You know, because this is a transition. This is a great, you know, we're so unique with our approach. We're so unique. No other school does what we do. Some try, but they just don't do what we do. And a big component, and again, it's not secondary, it's not an elective, and it's not optional. To be a student at Madison Park, you must be in a vocational program. And I think, and it's an important facet. Parents, that's why you selected this school for your child. That's the firm rationale of why you selected this school for your children. And we want to make sure that we honor that choice. Any other questions? Seeing that we were at 7:54.
Oh, Mr. McCaskill, you guys did a great job because Erica did her 4 years there, and I'm happy with her progress.
well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And it's great to see students like Erica over 4 years. And we're looking forward to the freshman parents that are on here as well, to see the fruits of the labor of 4 years and how students grow and that they continue to be hungry for success. It's fantastic to see. And that's what happens when we are in partnership. When we are in partnership, when school and home are in true partnership and covenant for student success. Mr. Harold, this seems like the temperature is getting warmer in it. I can't tell you how hot I am in this office. It's burning up in here.
And it's humid out too.
Oh, don't tell me that, because then I got to go outside. Well, folks, we're also going to have another town hall on Saturday morning. And again, you know, feel free if you want to, you're going to hear this the same message, I should say, but you won't be missing anything because it'll be the same presentation going forward. But we want to make sure that we connect with as many households as we possibly can. So again, we can have a sense that folks feel very confident that we have your child's best interests and well-being at heart at all times. So on that note, I want to thank our staff. I want to thank Ms. Castillo, Ms. Latortu. Thank you very much for translating this evening. Ms. L was out in the chat. Thank you very much. Ms. Castillo, thank you very much. To our staff, I see Brandy, thank you for setting this up. Mr. Harold, thanks for coming on. Celeste, always, thank you. Thank you. You look very relaxed this evening.
Hi, Mr. McCaskill. Miss Castillo.
Hi, how are you? I recognize
I missed
your
our
voice.
meeting. I missed
Erica.
our meeting.
Say that again?
I missed our meeting.
Oh, okay. We're gonna have another one on June 1st, okay?
Okay.
So you're
right,
gonna
folks.
be there.
Everyone have a great evening and stay safe. Take care.
Thank you too.
Bye-bye.